All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? None noted. Thank you. Welcome to the April 9th, 2024 Public Work Session. My name is Tom Panu, Vice President of the Board of Education speaking. Thank you for attending in person or through Zoom. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for two fathers and husbands in the community that the community has lost in this past week. We would like to remember both Mr. Michael Kenny, Mr. Raymond Feichter. Thank you. Please keep their families in your thoughts and prayers. Pledge of Allegiance, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Due notice of today's meeting has been served to all board members of the Board of Education pursuant to the requirements of law. Tina, would you please take attendance? Present.
Present. Present.
Present. Present.
Present.
Acceptance of the agenda. Motion that the Board of Education accepts the following resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the agenda of the regular session as presented.
So moved.
Second. Are there any noes? Thank you. No noes noted. We have a presentation this evening. The review of the proposed budget. Dr. Sinha, Mr. Capia will present on the review of the budget.
Thank you, Mr. Pino. So, this is an extra presentation that we are showing this evening. Anything that you see tonight, you've seen it before. This is just the major highlights of our proposed budget, which is on the agenda this evening for adoption. And I want to start off by thanking my colleagues here, building administrators and our district administrators for working hard on this budget. It's a solid budget that really touches all of our students. And as you look through the impact of some of our programs and some of the things we're bringing through on this budget to our students, very proud of it. So we always start off with our mission and vision of our school district, and this budget is built upon our mission and vision. You've seen this many times. Again, these numbers are exactly the same that we've been presenting for the past several weeks. Nothing has changed on here. We're within the tax levy, which is 2.54%. So our budget drivers, these are the areas, every year we go over them. And some areas we focus on a little bit more, and it depends on the time, which year it is. So for example, here, the salaries and benefits, they're always a major budget driver along with the mandates, the enrollment, our special education. But here with student safety, that's always there. Cybersecurity has become something that we pay more and more attention to. And again, the cleaning and maintenance, the tax levy and state aid. This also is exactly the same, what we've seen, what you've seen before. We presented our budget in this three-part budget format, and you can see majority of the budget, it touches our students. And some of the things in our primary and elementary, in terms of what we've planned for next year, an attention in the area of science. We talked about that when our administrators presented. We'll be purchasing mystery science kits, not just a subscription, but the kits itself. There's professional learning as part of this budget, along with a staff developer that will be assisting our coordinator of science. With our library, we'll have new library spaces in our 2 elementary schools that will be in completion this year. So we are also looking at enhancing that with curriculum there. Broadcasting, that's part of our new library space in both the buildings, Stratford and at Stewart. So we'll have a broadcasting program happening there. Math and writing will continue, and then new musical instruments. Again, you've seen all this before. For the middle school, we're excited about some of the electives that will be new for next year, particularly in the area of computer science, Rube Goldberg, theater arts, Maker Faire, and we also have Project Lead the Way, a new course, design and modeling we're excited about. One of the main focus for our middle school will be the master schedule. So we're looking at what's best, what are the current needs, and how does our schedule meet those needs? So, and again, the morning math support program. For the high school, we'll have a new Project Lead the Way course, engineering and cybersecurity. That's something that'll be new for our students, and we're very excited about bringing that to for our students. We also have an art club. Morning supports will continue. New instruments in the music program and the marching band, athletic equipment you see, and the uniform replacement. These are all part of the budget. And then district-wide, we are, some of the work we've been doing for the last few years around curriculum articulation. We're expanding to curriculum storyboarding. You'll hear more about that next year. Deepening our understanding of assessment, use of assessment and data. We did work on that this year. That's going to continue. Using the DESA screening tool, our spring administration is coming up, but we're really using that to pinpoint interventions through our MTSS process. We're also looking to upgrade in the area of technology infrastructure, our one-to-one initiative, and again, the cybersecurity monitoring is significant for us. And all of our co-curricular and extracurricular activities continue. We've actually expanded in some areas with that. We will continue to fully use our innovative learning spaces. Remember, this year we have the 4 courtyards that will be completed, the 2 libraries, and prior to that, we've done a lot with spaces that we want to make sure we're using it fully. Part of this budget also is the purchase of the 4 big buses. We also have the integration of computer science and digital fluency standards. Ms. McGuire and her team are working on that. We have an addition of a literacy coach in this budget. And of course, for next year, we'll have a new assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction and an assistant director of PPS. So we're looking to support them as they enter our school district. And this, I'm not going to go through all these capital improvement projects. It's about $2.2 million. And these projects are based on, we have 9 buildings, maintenance, but it's also for, making sure that things within our buildings are taken care of, like the boilers, the HVAC systems. So you'll see that in here. As part of the capital improvements for next year. There's also money budgeted here for our classrooms and for making sure that we are keeping up with that our buildings look neat and clean, painting, things of that nature, which is very, very important. At the middle school, we're adding fencing along the east side of the field with gates. That'll be really nice because we want our students to go outside more you know, especially when the weather is nice. So that fencing will be nice for us. We have that there. And then you'll see things for the stage, for our, you know, for our athletic fields. So there's something here for each one of our buildings. And again, this will be on the website. We've gone over this. So you can review, anybody can review that. All this information will be on our website. So this evening is the adoption of our district budget and then a budget hearing on May 14th with budget vote and election on May 21st. And on the ballot, again, it'll be the budget and election of 2 Board of Education trustees. You will be receiving a budget newsletter in the coming weeks. So again, it'll have all the highlights that you've heard for the past 2.5 months. We've been really engrossed in the budget. All that information will be in the newsletter, but again, this is also on our website.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to reports. Dana, may I have the treasurer's report, please?
This is the treasurer's report for February 2024. We had a cash balance at the beginning of the month of $61,386,979. During February, we had receipts totaling $1,019,023. We had disbursements of $10,220,476, leaving us with a closing balance of $52,185,527. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Dr. Sinha, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Pinault. So I have a couple of things I'd like to report on. This evening, you know, we just came back from a 10-year reception. We have multiple 10-year recommendations. We have 13 teacher, 1 teacher assistant, and 3 administrators that are on the agenda. And, you know, I want to take a minute to thank Ms. McLaughlin. She works very, very hard with our administrators to hire the very best for our district. So, you know, it's nice to celebrate and honor our folks. So it was a very nice reception we had. You know, 10 years of rigorous process that continues over multiple years. And, you know, I shared this earlier this evening. It's an important milestone in an educator's career here in Garden City, and we really value that process for us. And, you know, I talked a little bit about thanking Mrs. McLaughlin, but, you know, our new teacher orientation program, that and the mentor program, it's getting better and better each year. We have really strengthened it, and she works closely with Ms. Squires. To really want to thank them for that work. It's over 2 years, Ms. McLaughlin, with our mentor program that our teachers are working with colleagues.
And then we give them an opportunity to extend to years 3 and 4 as well.
Thank you. And again, that work is pretty significant in our school. Some other things in our schools, this is the 13th years in a row that we've been named Best Community for Music Education by the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation. This award honors districts and schools that demonstrate an outstanding commitment to providing high-quality music education. We thank Ms. Hauser, our coordinator of music and fine arts, and our music teachers for their commitment to our music program. I also wanted to mention this Friday, we have our ribbon cutting for Stratford School, the courtyard, the official ribbon cutting. And the courtyard looks beautiful. So we're very excited to share the space with our students and staff, but we do have some pictures I want to share with you. You'll have to turn around to see this because it's just incredible with this space, where we were and where we came to. So this is what it looked like before. That space, that courtyard, this is how it was. It was a space that was not being utilized at all in our school. This is a group of, a team of teachers and, Mr. Hardigan and Ms. Casada really working with a group of educators to plan out what will this space look like and how will we use it. So this is how the construction started. And this is what it looks like now. And we also included students in designing. So for example, we have 5 chess tables that really came from our students. They can play chess and other games on it. That came from our students. They wanted that out there. So just the transformation is incredible. And, there's a lot of excitement when kids pass that window and they see that space. They're like, when can we go there? A couple of other things that I wanted to report on was the PTA dinner. I think we were all there. That was on April 3rd. It was a wonderful, wonderful night full of fun and laughter. We have a very supportive and active PTA. They support us in so many ways, from grants to speakers to anything we may need. We just ask. They're always willing, a partner with us, with our students. So I know how much planning and time it's involved in putting a big event like that together. So thank you to our PTA and the entire team for another wonderful dinner, but the fundraising that goes with it, because it just comes back right to our school. And this evening on the agenda, there are several PTA grants that totals over $20,000 from Decodable Books in the primary schools, a day in clay event at the middle school, a new art display board for Stratford School, math and movement supplies. That's pretty exciting, the math and movement. And we really thank our PTA for all their support. Other items on the agenda, there's a BOCES budget and election of their trustees, members to BOCES board. That's on the agenda that I know you'll be speaking about in a minute or so, Mr. Pino. We also have the adoption of the district budget that we just went over. There's scope enrichment summer program that you'll see on the agenda as well, along with related service contracts. We also have 2 retirements on the agenda. We have Amy Norrell. She is our head secretary at Stewart School, and Amy has been with the district for 25 years. And I know she'll be sorely missed at Stewart, and we'll be honoring her when we honor all of our retirees in June. And we also have James Casella. He's been a bus driver in our district for 11 years. He's also retiring. We'll be celebrating him as well in June. We thank them both for their service. We also have a resignation on the agenda. Desiree Clemente, our Assistant Director of PPS. She's moving on to be a director in another district in Jericho, and we wish her the very, very best as she moves on. We also have a course proposal on the agenda for Project Lead the Way, Design and Modeling. We're excited to start this new course at the middle school. You will see we have a agenda item for zero emission buses. We're appointing or we're recommending Wendell Energy Services to assist the district in evaluating the impact of transitioning to zero emission buses. What will that have on the district? Again, they're going to be helping us with that. And, it's been in the news quite a bit that the New York State must be moving towards that zero emission by 2027. So that's also on the agenda. And lastly, I also want to talk about physical therapy services. That's been an area that has been very difficult to find providers. So we do have Keep Moving Forward, that agency on the agenda. They're actually located in Garden City, and they will be helping us with the makeup services and supports our kids need within the district, but also at their facility. We will be sending out a letter tomorrow around this to start those services. And I would like to thank our SEPTA for introducing them to us. And so we're glad that they'll be joining and helping us with the services. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha, and thank you for the project that's evolved at Stratford School. Amazing transformation from start to finish. And more importantly, I think it exemplifies that this board and the administration always takes input from children. I think that's valuable. I think they have phenomenal ideas, and we welcome more of those sessions with each one of the schools, as we did at the last board meeting last year. I'm going to move on to reports from members of the Board of Education. Trustee Gaffney? Any reports? Thank you. Trustee O'Donoghue?
No.
Thank you. Trustee Janeco?
Nope.
I'd just like to add something that this board is working on. President Cilio and I and other members of the trustee to my left are part of the coalition with various districts in our areas, outside of our areas. There are about 15 districts with 3 additional that are added to this coalition further out east. Some of the names that you might hear of that we attend meetings for and joint ventures to address issues are Carl Place, Hicksville, Lindenhurst, Seaford, Island Trees, Massapequa, Locust Valley, Cold Spring Harbor, Oyster Bay, ourselves, Jericho, Elwood, Plain Edge, East Islip, and Manhasset. One of the things that's coming down rather quickly, and we are going to be drafting a letter opposing this. Dr. Sinha, it seems that the New York State School Board is also opposing this. And it's opposition to the New York State Faith-Based Affordable Housing Act that is being pushed on all communities. That is Assembly Bill A8386. For those who want to contact their legislators, please do so. And Senate Bill S79, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, 7791. This bill that they're trying to enact into a law would have a devastating effect on our local control, our governance as elected representatives of the community that you elect. These bills, if enacted, will bypass multiple layers of local control, decision-making, and will probably most definitely negatively impact our school community. We will be drafting a letter, as I said, that will be coming soon. And I think we should have that shortly. But this is something that all residents should contact. It's not only up to the school board to contact, but it's also up to you as residents. This will most definitely affect many things that we'll outline in the letter, class sizes, funding that will be non-existent, and an overabundance of lack of control and say that we have. So I urge you to look into that, and the letter will be coming out shortly. Thank you. We'll move on to questions and comments. Citizens, questions? Any questions from the Board of Education on the presentation or the agenda?
None.
None? None. Thank you. Citizens' questions or comments on the presentation or agenda? This is the time period designated for public to address the board on the presentation. Please note that we can only speak to the questions on the presentation at this time. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Questions or comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. A maximum of 30 minutes will be set aside for public comment. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Anne Marie Giblin, 209 Whitehall. I'm here on behalf of the Executive Committee of the PTA. The Executive Committee of Garden City PTA thanks the administration for your time, care, and tireless effort in preparing the budget for the 2024-2025 school year. We also thank the Board of Education for your time and care in reviewing the budget, and Dr. Sinha. We also want to express our gratitude to the members of the community who attended these budget presentations, asked questions of the administration, and showed an active interest in the future of our schools. As parents, our role as public education advocates cannot be overstated, and we must remain engaged in the school budget process by speaking on behalf of our students here in Garden City and with our elected representatives in Albany. We also want to express our appreciation for the engaging and thoughtful presentations explaining this year's budget and the presentations provided to address the school safety issues as well. Understand that there are many challenges in preparing a school budget and submitting it for inspection and approval via public vote. The school's budget must uphold our community's high expectations for quality public education while maintaining the board's commitment to not exceed the allowable tax levy. This year, the budget does just that. It is at once fiscally conservative and academically ambitious, guided by the district's mission statement with a focus on students at its core. As parents, we are very excited to see the completion of major projects were addressed in last year's budget, especially the cafeteria veranda at the high school and the library renovations in both of our elementary schools. Having the vision of the budget turn into reality for our students gives us great perspective and understanding on the proposed budget for this year as well. This proposed budget promises exciting instructional additions and enhancements for all our students through K through 12. We appreciate that over 75% of this budget and most of our past budgets is dedicated to student programs and are excited to see thoughtful new programs such as the curriculum articulation design being continued and expanded, new and engaging electives being introduced for our 7th and 8th graders, and increasing the capabilities of our engineering and cybersecurity Project Lead the Way courses. We are also excited to see the district-wide implementation of the Linkit system to better help and support and facilitate the growth of our students. And we are really eager to get all buildings modernized to deal with the temperature issues more effectively. As with last year, we understand how inflation has affected this year's budget and appreciate the careful thought that went into balancing the needs of the students with the increased cost of the administration. We also understand and support the use of the allowable tax levy. Looking ahead, we understand that our district, like many others, is not without its challenges. We are still dealing with the aftermath of the pandemic, increased safety concern to our schools, and managing the mental health and emotional well-being of our children who need increased support to process these stressful issues. We can support the continued efforts of the administration and the board to nimbly address and respond to safety concerns and continue the provision of mental health services to our students and families. Additionally, as our student enrollment continues to grow, we must continue to investigate ways, sorry, this is really heavy. It's too small. To keep the school buildings to include more usable classroom spaces and ways to lower class sizes. It is also imperative for the success of our students that we avoid the implications of overcrowding and less teacher-student attention. Finally, we support the continued focus on increased opportunities to learn with new technologies for our students and support the administration's dedication to innovation and the steps necessary to prepare our students to be leaders of the future. This budget continues the Garden City School District's commitment to inspire and challenge students to accomplish their best while also maintaining the board's commitment to fiscal responsibility. The executive committee of the Garden City PTA strongly supports this 2024-2025 school budget, and we urge all community members to vote yes for the budget on May 21st in support of our children, public education, and community. We appreciate all of the Board of Education's current and continuing efforts to meet the challenges ahead, and we encourage you to continue to work collaboratively with parents through PTA and SEPTA to tackle future challenges to our budget together. Thank you again on behalf of the Executive Committee of the Garden City PTA.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbon.
Good evening. Sorry. My name is Helen Filmus, and I am the CACA Unit President with the Garden City Schools and would like to speak on behalf of the members. As you are aware, we have not yet come to an agreement on a new contract. And unfortunately, we are heading down, moving towards mediation. During this time, all the members continue to work tirelessly in every building and every department to ensure the well-being and safety of the students and the staff in the district. Communication during negotiations is vital. Both sides must practice active listening and exchange information to better understand the goals of each party to reach an agreement. Our hope is that the talks will resume in the near future and we will be able to achieve a fair and equitable solution. Anything that moves negotiations forward in a positive way would be welcome. My comments do speak to the matters at hand at this meeting. We understand the challenges that the board faces presenting the community with a school budget. And we assure that we are convinced that providing our members with a fair contract will surely fit into the budget of the Garden City School District. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Donna, for your comments. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at, I thought you were coming up. Donna Kraus, you're coming up. Anyone else? We move on to the adoption of the 2024-2025 budget and property tax report card. May I have a motion that the Board of Education adopts the proposed budget in the amount of $133,987,366 for the fiscal year of 2024-2025 and adopts the property tax report card.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Any noes? None noted. I'll move on to the discussion of the election of trustees for Nassau BOCES. Each one of us trustees have received and reviewed the bios and CVs of 6 nominees. I'll go through their names. Susan Bergtron, Martin Kay, Michael Wynick, Cynthia Nunez, Roseanne Stein, and Alina Zilov. Nassau BOCES budget vote and election members of the Board of Cooperative Education Services of Nassau County. May I have a motion that the board approves the Board of Cooperative Services of Nassau County proposed administrative operations budget for the 2024-2025 school year in the amount of $27,131,117.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any noes? None noted. May I have a motion for the election of the members of the Board of Cooperative Education Services of Nassau County? The Board of Education casts its votes for the following 3 individuals: Martin Kay, Rosanna Stein, Alina Zilov.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? None noted. I'll move on to the consent agenda. To make more efficient use of meeting time, the Board of Education authorizes the use of a consent agenda as part of the meeting agenda. A consent agenda allows for one motion to approve multiple items, and such items are identified as such on the agenda. The president of the board or the vice president of the board will ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda and will ask if board members wish to have a discussion and/or clarification on specific items contained within this consent agenda. Following the discussion, the board will then vote on the consent agenda motion. In addition, board members may request to have any item removed from the consent agenda in order to vote on that motion separately. Consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes business of board items K1 through K3, personnel matters L1 through L10, business office matters M1 through M14, curriculum and instruction matters N1 through N2, and special education matters O1 through O14.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any noes? None noted. New business. Does the board have any new business?
None. None.
Administration, are there any new business items? None noted. Future Board of Education meetings. The next Board of Education meeting will be the regular session on Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 at 8:15 PM at the Garden City High School. May I have a motion that the board move into executive session to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of any particular person?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that no further business is to come before the board and that the meeting is adjourned?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for attending in person and in Zoom.